Top 10 African countries to invest in. Africa has an excellent reputation as a continent filled with resources, both human and natural. This has made it attractive to major investors over the years. One of the most significant factors responsible for economic and social development within a clime is the ease with which businesses can operate. African countries have tremendous economic potential, with rewarding opportunities for investors and partners. And this video is about to show you the best African countries to invest in. Number 4 is tax-friendly, and number 1 on the list promises to give you an impressive return on investment. So, keep watching to find out which country offers these incentives. Number 10. Tanzania. Tanzania has been on a rapid path of development over the past few years. This growth can be attributed to consistent public investment from the government in critical secondary and tertiary sectors, ranging from the energy sector to advancements in the telecommunications and finance sectors. With an average real GDP growth rate of 6.3% over the past decade, from 2010 to 2019, Tanzania is among the fastest growing economies in Africa and the world. According to the Bank of Tanzania and the International Monetary Fund, the real GDP of Tanzania grew by 4.9% in 2021, reaching $70.28 billion. Certainly, Tanzania is a country worth looking at. Number 9. Ghana. Covering the period 2022 to 2025, the Ministry of Finance projects Ghana's real GDP to grow by an average of 5.6%, with yearly growth rates of about 5.8%, 5.4%, 5.3%, and 6% in 2022, 23, 24, and 25 respectively, with benefits primarily driven by cocoa beans, crude oil, and minerals production. With the projected increase in GDP, the corresponding growth in the financial services industry cannot be underestimated. The government of Ghana has made increasing foreign direct investment a priority and acknowledges the importance of having an enabling environment for the private sector to flourish. This may be a good time to invest in Ghana. Officials are already implementing regulatory and other reforms, such as automation and digitalization of government processes to improve the ease of business and make investing in Ghana more attractive. Number 8. Cote d'Ivoire. Regarded as one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, Ivory Coast is a top destination for investors in West Africa. Information from the African Development Bank shows that the Ivorian GDP could grow by 6.5% in 2022. The report further disclosed that transport, construction, agriculture, and petroleum products drive growth. Between 2010 and 2019, Cote d'Ivoire moved up to 60 spots in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business rankings, from number 170 out of 190 countries to number 110. Last year, the country implemented a Startup Act that minimizes the regulatory and administrative hurdles of running a startup. Among other measures, the government has simplified the startup tax structure and theoretically made it possible to register a new business within 48 hours. Yes, in 48 hours, your business could be up and running, which helps attract investors to the country. Number 7. Kenya. The Kenyan government's efforts to ensure the implementation of the Big Four plan focused on industrialization, universal health coverage, food security, and affordable housing will invariably lead to fast economic growth. Kenya is the largest economy in East and Central Africa. It has shown resilience and strong growth with a rapidly growing urban middle class and increasing demand for high-value goods and services. According to data from KenInvest, The country is the dominant economy in the East Africa community, contributing to more than 50% of the region's GDP. Agribusiness is considered one of the top contributors to Kenya's economic growth. Kenya is the world's leading exporter of tea, coffee, flowers, and vegetables. For that reason, financing agribusiness is one way of promoting Kenyan exports, as well as allowing Kenya to reach a broader market segment. Number 6. Botswana. Botswana is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa and is set to continue making strides with expected economic growth of 9.7% in 2021. According to its budget strategy document, the government has forecasted a 4.3% growth in GDP in 2022. In October 2021, Botswana was removed from the Financial Action Task Force's grey list following improvements in money laundering handling. The FATF is an intergovernmental body focusing on money laundering, terrorist financing, and other illicit money flows. Removal from the list has sparked optimism and should help efforts to diversify Botswana's economy and attract foreign investors. The country also plans to utilize its energy resources. It aims to become a net exporter of electricity by 2027. In 2021, Botswana, Namibia, and the US signed a memorandum of intent to create a mega solar project in the two southern African countries. This has the potential to generate 3,000 to 5,000 megawatts of energy. Once realized, it would transform the country into one of the most significant producers and exporters of solar power energy. Number 5. Morocco. Morocco's GDP had increased yearly since 2016, reaching a peak of $119.7 billion in 2019, before COVID-19 struck. But even then, the country has an annual compound growth rate of 4.5%. Following 2 years of drought, the country also had an excellent harvest in 2021, spurring economic growth. Agriculture gains are expected to continue, with Morocco's Minister of Agriculture, Mohamed Siddiqui, stating, citrus production is expected to increase by 14% and olive production by 21% compared with the previous season. Morocco also recently implemented a new agriculture strategy, the Green Generation 2020-2030. Its core objectives are to support and encourage young people to invest in 1 million hectares of arable lands, creating about 350,000 jobs, and increase agricultural exports to $6.6 billion by 2030. Foreign direct investment, or FDI if you may call it, peaked in the country in 2019, with a total of 111 FDI projects recorded, an increase of 56% from the previous year. Number 4. Mauritius. If you hate tax, you will love this country. Aided by a highly favourable tax regime, its financial sector will remain one of the main drivers of Mauritius's economy into the future, notably through cross-border investment activities and banking services. Mauritius is one of the top jurisdictions in the creation and administration of funds in sub-Saharan Africa. The country is renowned for structuring foreign investments in Asia and Africa, attracting investors and fund managers from different parts of the world. The booming fund market contributes to favourable tax policies and treaties, flexible and quality legislation, political stability, excellent infrastructure, a reliable time zone, and skilled employees availability. And aside from ensuring asset protection for all investors, they have also embraced a free trade economy to encourage more people to invest in the country. Number 3. South Africa. Today's South Africa is one of the most sophisticated and promising emerging markets globally. The unique combination of a highly developed first world economic infrastructure and a huge emergent market economy has created a robust entrepreneurial and dynamic investment environment. South Africa is the economic powerhouse of the African continent. With a GDP of 1.9 trillion rand, which is $283 billion, 4 times that of its southern African neighbours, and comprising 30% of the entire GDP of Africa. South Africa has achieved macroeconomic stability not seen in the country for many years. Such advances create opportunities for real increases in expenditure on social services and reduce the costs and risks for all investors, laying the foundation for increased investment and growth. Number 2. Rwanda. Rwanda continues to be an attractive location for foreign investment. It is one of the world's fastest growing economies and has an enabling business environment, a growing private sector, and large-scale infrastructure projects. Rwanda has developed industrial parks to accelerate investment growth, especially in manufacturing. Leading global businesses such as Volkswagen, Motorola Solutions, Andela, and Radisson have established themselves in Rwanda. Recently, universities like Carnegie Mellon University have created campuses in Rwanda. Despite all these remarkable achievements, the country still has many untapped investment opportunities, coupled with ambitious policies and strategies for social and economic development. Number 1. Egypt. Number 1 is the country of pyramids. Egypt may be best known for its impressive pyramids and colourful history, but the heavily populated Middle Eastern African country is also famous among investors. Egypt's economy is one of the most developed countries in the African region, with a GDP of approximately $365 billion and a GDP per capita of roughly $4,028 in 2022. Like many larger countries, Egypt has an economy dominated by the service and industrial sectors. At the same time, it's also known for its agricultural industry, which is a significant source of employment. Suppose you're looking for a country in Africa to invest in. Look no further than Egypt, and because of the country's growth, every investment has the potential to yield impressive results. So, which country are you looking forward to investing in? Let us know in the comment section.